All right, we are live. Can't take it back. So this is session 25 of Descent into Fernia. Who would like to give the recap?
So we started in the bar, the Winchester, and there was acid rain eating through the roof. So we spent some time trying to figure out ways to fortify the roof. We used like messaging supplies to try to create a wax layer around like pieces that were like putting holes in, because one or more of us knew that that has properties to repel acid. Vegnog tried talking to Matthew DeCanneth, but he was racist. Basically called me a tool.
Not the good kind.
Said I should never be granted freedom. Then we headed to High Hall. We didn't, we passed through areas that we had passed before. We didn't see any bodies where there used to be bodies. We got into the basement and found found a bunch of survivors there. Met up with Alistair and gave him Jinzik's book to see if he could ascertain the nature of the spell that's supposed to protect the city. After some time, he came back and told us that he would need 5 willing participants to sacrifice their lives and a powerful demon or devil that embodies the will, like basically hatred against us. At that point, we heard a voice in our head that started mocking us, and cracks. The ground started shaking and cracks were forming in the ceiling, and the cathedral started looking like it was going to come down on top of us. And Abaddon was this being that started mocking us. I think first we tried to not engage in combat, and then they're just going to bring she was going to bring the cathedral down around us, so that we had to engage in combat. Ewan stuck her with a brand. I guess there's a magic brand that you guys picked up, and that severely weakened her and knocked her out. Solomon took off her armor and he put it on. So I'm pretty sure he's rocking like a sweet breast chainmail.
Chainmail bikini.
With the size of her cups, he's definitely rocking something there.
He used Alyssa's spoon to scoop out the Abaddon's eyes, in the event that she has the ability to teleport to a location she could see. And I'm pretty sure we dragged her down to the basement and tied her up and all those things, so that she could be the subject to the spell that Alistair is going to cast. He was going to wait to do it until we left, because he surmised that we would not be able to leave once it's been cast around us. So
typical lawful good party, dragging women into the basement and tying them up after cutting out their eyes with a spoon.
So a couple of additional notes that your characters would have taken notice of is, as you were trying to avoid combat, especially since I think you realized that she had a bow and there was a lot of distance to cross between you and her, there was Ewan had attempted to reveal the mark of Cardinal Prozin upon his forehead, which Vegnog, you'd notice that everybody here except Project Ezreal also bears that same mark. And you guys would have noticed that she reacted with glee, saying that she had found you. So that may be something to take notice of or cause for concern. Additionally, the fight went really well for you guys in terms of the way things were rolling, but you would have also noticed that there was a moment where Alyssa's shield, which has already has come up as possibly problematic because of the way it looks. And it was absorbing light around it, and while it did that, something seemed to be affecting Abaddon, which made her a little shaky in her aim as she was trying to fire arrows at you guys, and made her a little bit off her feet. So those are two other things that would have been pretty apparent that you guys would have noticed.
The fact is, she's racist. That's why she doesn't like my shield. It looks problematic, and that's why it angered her.
Right. Well, so does Abaddon's shield, which might be helpful, but Solomon's like, no, it's a devil shield, but I will wear this armor.
One of them cuts a figure, the other doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah. He takes that armor off, and he's suddenly going to have something different about him. That's all I'm saying.
So another thing was once Solomon had removed Abaddon's eyes, he then crushed them with Heaven's Fall. So, so you guys have bound this demon, prepared her for the spell work, and at that point, somebody who you haven't seen in quite a while suddenly emerges from the crowd of survivors in the barracks of High Hall Fortress.
Survivors of the attack or survivors of him?
Question.
Well, I'm back.
Where did he come from?
Where did he go?
Well,
So you guys haven't seen him in a while. The last time you guys saw Project Ezreal was when you were going out to find Knight Commander Alistair Marktaros in the graveyard. And then since then, you haven't really seen him. You figured that he was supposed to be kind of providing support to the survivors in High Hall, and at the very least would watch over Slobber Chops, though nobody needs to watch over Slobber Chops because Slobber Chops do what Slobber Chops do. But you guys hadn't seen Project Ezreal in any of the other times that you came back to High Hall. But now, being there, suddenly you notice his presence and he comes forward. And Brendan, that's your cue.
yeah. So I've been quite busy. I'm getting used to well, I'm technically back in a new body, I guess. So yeah. So I think I've prepared.
So you don't even look the same?
Oh no, I look the same. Remember I was a blob my entire life. So, well, not my entire life, but for a long time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think we only had such a brief introduction to Project Ezreal. Brendan, why don't you go ahead and remind us of how Project Ezreal came to be after the horrible slaughter of your previous character.
What was it like as a young blob growing up on the wrong side of?
Project Israel was one of Dr. Sheev's mutant little creations. So how he came back was that he eventually, when he was released from Dr. Sheev, sort of turned back into a human, and he was a research partner of Dr. Sheev. So he's got a bit of a twisted past himself.
Did he have a lot of friends growing up as a blob? Was he a friendly blob?
No, he had to make friends with Dr. Sheev's pregnant spider thing. So
The one that would throw its babies into people's mouths to provide with the temporary hit points.
that's exactly right. Yeah.
So is Project Ezreal like a human or a construct, or?
He's a human now. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you guys haven't. I've got a picture somewhere.
Project Ezreal is a sexual tyrannosaur.
He sent. I pretty much just stole the picture for a cultist, and that's him. So
Here, I'll show it.
I see it.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he specializes in blood magic. So, that's what he calls like hematurgy. That's his thing. And he doesn't really fit into this very nice group, but he's trying.
Neither did his former master, honestly.
Every piece of equipment I have is demonic. I'm pretty sure. You're fitting just fine, kid. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
So I'm back to provide my services or anything that which you require from me.
Do you mind explaining what you've been doing?
Well, there's people who've needed medical treatment, and I specialize in that.
You're not just a project, you're also a doctor.
Not certified, but close enough.
Again, I don't think your master was either.
Oh, he was, but he was pretty experimental in his ways.
Is that why his license was revoked?
I wish it was.
By that gel monster.
So how have you been?
And let's not do this out here.
Quite hot. Now let's keep moving.
I thought we were inside in the basement with the chick.
Oh, did we
Yeah, we
get her
went
back
in,
inside, or?
Yeah, because she has no eyes now, and we're in there, and she was tied up for the ritual.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, you guys used the devil trap, which were the 4 silver spikes, which you were able to embed in the ground magically to create an area that Abaddon will not be able to pass through. So it creates a field of force.
Okay.
So you guys have noticed that ever since she has been bound, she has not really been responsive, although she does seem to be alive. This includes when Solomon scooped her eyes out with the spoon, she didn't seem to respond at all in pain or any other outward sensation.
Some kind of demonic demon just into some freaky stuff. I don't really.
Yeah, maybe. Do we have our candidates yet? I don't know if
So
guys come forth.
Knight Commander Alistair is working to speak to people. He's kind of doing it off to the side. He's trying not to draw attention because, you know, that would be a pretty horrific thing to have to hear for everybody to know right off the bat. So he's trying to be kind of mindful in terms of how that information is communicated and who he turns to seek out the volunteers. But he's doing that, you know, kind of on his own. It's probably going to take him some time, but he has all the tools that he needs otherwise to be able to complete the spell. And as was mentioned before, it would be best for you guys to start heading out soon-ish. You guys have time, but obviously Knight Commander Alistair is going to want to complete the spell as soon as possible in order to try and give everybody a fighting chance.
Do you need rest before we go? It will be a hopefully short journey to the floor, the ground, but it will be a hell of a ride afterwards.
Well, how long has it been since our last long rest, Mike?
Not that long.
Yeah, it's probably around noon, not long after noon.
We might take a quick rest if we want to, but we really should be on the road soon.
Yeah, Ewan would be, you know, he's probably got blood running down his face right now.
Oh yeah, he
But-
got hit pretty hard by Abaddon.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, just take 5 minutes, we can head out, I think.
Wasn't Solomon like gravely like exhausted?
I have levels of exhaustion, but I don't think we really have enough time for me to go through all of them.
Yeah, I think Solomon was fine. I think it was Alyssa that had the most exhaustion. So are you at 2 levels, Alyssa, right now?
Let me look at my character sheet. Character sheet says 3 total.
You're at 3.
That's what the sheet says. Yep.
Okay.
I don't remember where I was last time.
I
go off
think
one
it's
sheet.
2 because we had
Is
this
it?
discussion before.
Yeah, because you guys took a couple of days at the Winchester, I want to say, because of the acid rain.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, like
Unless you went to 0 in that fight, because my notes say 2 levels of exhaustion. Magic lock on door. Bodyguard.
Here's the problem with it. If you don't use the little buttons beside the number and you try typing it in, it doesn't save the number on roll 20. That's just stupid.
scroll it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could just press the little arrow.
Yeah, I did. Well, before I just type it in, because that's what I always do with this stuff. Okay, well,
Ah.
fuck you. Roll 20. See if you get my adopted child.
Hopefully they're redheaded.
What's wrong with adopting an 18-year-old Asian girl anyway?
Right, okay. As somebody that works in DCFS, let's move on. All right, so yeah, Alyssa, you shouldn't have more than 2 levels of exhaustion.
Sounds right.
So is there anything else that you guys need or plan to do before you head out?
Take 5 minutes.
Oh, at least. Maybe the rest of the day.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
stay here for 2 days.
I certainly at least need 5 minutes. I'm below half.
We have time.
I'm down 40 hit points.
So you wanna take a short rest and spend some hit dice?
Maybe, unless Solomon has some healing for me, which would, you know, reduce the amount of hit die I need to use to recover 40 hit points.
Um,
I can give you and a couple couple hits, but it really mechanically doesn't help you. So
There's a time and a place.
Roll your hit die with disadvantage.
Ewan recognizes for Lux that's anytime, any place.
mhm.
And even though I'm a healer, I'm a self-healer. So unless you plan on joining the ranks, you're not getting any healing, buddy.
What do you mean by joining the ranks?
Well, the blood of Vol.
Sure, Project Israel will tell you all about it.
Do tell.
Didn't Kurt have Solomon cast Aura of Vitality?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
So I would have thought that you would have gotten some healing from that, Tony.
No, man, I could look through the thing here.
Okay. So Solomon will cast another. I usually don't like to do this, but I'll do it right now. He'll cast Aura Vitality. Is anybody else low on health?
I don't see it in the history.
Not I.
Everybody else is
I'm the
at
only
full?
one that really got hit.
Okay.
All these enemies always trying to kill your characters.
All right, so then that would be 20d6 of healing. I'm gonna just assume that'll heal you up to full, Tony.
20d6, huh?
Unless he rolls
Yeah.
really badly.
I mean, Aura of Vitality, right? So it's a bonus action to heal 2d6 hit points, and you could do it each round for a minute.
That would if I were at 0 hit points, I wouldn't quite be full.
But you are now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was short 40. Exactly.
Okay. So Solomon took that time to provide you with that healing. So you feel nice and rejuvenated. For a moment, you even forget that it's hot as balls, but just for a moment, and then you're brought back into the dreadful heat that is all-encompassing here
Mm-hmm.
in Fernia.
So, so she had a shield. We said, like, is it similar to Alyssa's shield?
No, it has a fairly significantly different look compared to
Okay.
Alyssa's. So I'll just show everybody. Where is it?
My shield matches my shoes and my armor, so it kind of all goes together.
So this is the shield that Alyssa has, and then the other shield was this. So they both have a pretty clearly demonic look to them, but in significantly different ways. And you guys can see those images when I showed them, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can monks use bracers?
Monks can use bracers. Monks cannot use shields, though.
Not as a shield, though. I could use it as an improvised weapon, right?
If you wanted to use a shield as an improvised weapon, I'd allow it.
That's sneaky.
You have proficiency in those? Because I know I do.
Well, you have the Tavern Brawler feat, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah. So Lux would be able to use it.
unless you want to, unless Ewan wants it.
No, I'm all right. If you want to throw a shield around like Captain America, that's cool.
What's the range on a shield?
10 feet. Those shields, you see those things? They're not balanced.
Well, with the this shield, you wouldn't really be able to throw it because it kind of remains.
No, it
attached
doesn't look
to
like a
the
throwing.
bracer.
It looks more like. I mean, I could probably grab it with 2 hands and like bash somebody over the head with it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can definitely form it so that the edge side, the smaller side is like pointing towards your wrist to make it like an extension of your fist, or so you could do that for sure and use it as an improvised weapon. And because you're proficient, I would even allow you to use it because it could be a monk weapon for you then.
Would the bracers help my armor class or no?
If you want, you could use the so you're not proficient with the shield. So if you were using a shield, it would have some impacts in terms of your other skill ability checks. So you'd have disadvantage on some things, but additionally, you wouldn't be able to benefit from your normal monk armor class.
Because it's okay. So basically, when you have the shield, you also have a bracer on one forearm, right?
Right.
And then as a bonus action, the shield will fold into the bracer.
Right. So it's kind of like donning or doffing a shield. It normally that's a full action. So it turns it into a bonus action. So it makes it quicker to like bring the shield up or put it away so that you can use that hand for other things.
Right. So if I keep it folded into the bracer, does it help my armor class at all? Okay.
No, while it's in the bracer, it's effectively the same as like having it on your back or like not wielding it. It's just kind of there.
But it won't get in the way of anything having a bracer, right?
Right.
Okay.
So it's kind of equivalent to your bow staff right now, where
Okay.
you could, you're just walking around looking like you don't have any weapons, and then pow, you got a bracer, or you got a shield that you're going to bludgeon people with, and you got a stick that you're going to bludgeon people with.
Okay. Did anyone do?
It's all about the bludgeoning.
Yeah. Did anyone do tech magic on or anything? Is it magical? I mean, I know it folds into the bracer, so I mean, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's magical.
Right. It's not like a mundane mechanical action. It is a magical action that allows it to do that. So I would say that if you're going to use it and you pop it in and out, you can describe what it looks like or how it acts, but it would be a magically based ability.
Okay.
And it doesn't require attunement or anything.
Okay.
So.
Well, if anybody unless anybody wants to use it, I'll take it then.
Alrighty. So anything else you guys are doing before you head out? Okay. So then as you begin to leave, Knight Commander Alistair Martaros approaches you and says, "Thank you all for your help. And may the Silver Flame guide you on your journey to find and save Jayla Duran. And hopefully the Silver Flame will also show you the path to bring us all back home. All of our hopes and prayers are with you."
Thank you. Bye.
We will do our best.
So he kind of puts a hand on each of your shoulders before walking away. But you can see that his eyes are red, as if he has been crying very hard. For those of you with any proficiency and insight, it's pretty easy to tell that this information about sacrificing people's lives for the good of everybody else is really weighing heavily on him.
I think to myself, he should grow a pair.
All right, so you guys begin heading out. So I'm gonna let me bring up the map.
How's the compass correct?
Why is there? Wait a minute. It's not. I don't know why it's not letting me show up. Whatever. I'll just share the screen. All right. So with this being the map of Flamekeep, you guys are at 4. The crater where Flamekeep used to be, or the Flamekeep Cathedral used to be, is at 5. So where do you guys want to head to step off the edge and begin your descent into Fernia?
You're saving that one, weren't you? Saving that one.
Looks like if we go right out the gate here, it'll be right by the rend in the middle of the city. Just hop down there.
Head straight up to the north, you mean, or head straight north?
Wait, I'm just trying to look at this picture.
Like down that little curly path.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, no, all right. So the
the
north end is where the gate is. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like if we just go straight north, yeah, we'll just go right to the end there.
Yeah.
How many hellhounds could be waiting for us?
Do we have a sense of like where we're going? I don't recall. Like which direction in Fernia we were heading.
Yeah, so the gem that you guys have that you retrieved from the graveyard, which happened before your time, Thegnog, but basically there was a gem that you found that previously was a part of what's that sword's name? Tira Moran's sword that she used to imprison Belshalor. And so you found that gem in the graveyard, and once you did, it gave everybody visions about how to proceed, as well as seems to be glowing in a pattern that is guiding your direction to where you should go next. So the gem is kind of acting as a guide.
I do as the crystal commands.
Yeah.
It makes sense to just go straight out. Unless there is a particular direction that we need to go.
Let's see, what does the gem say? Who
Solomon
has
has
the
it.
gem?
Solomon.
Solomon, yeah.
So Solomon would look at it, and then he'd kind of turn and turn and turn and turn and turn, and then he'd say, "That way," and he would point north.
Looks like this is the way.
Perfect.
This is the way.
So you guys begin heading there once again. You don't see any bodies, but you see flying overhead and in the distance what appear to be devils or fiends that are flying about, cackling. None of them seem to take notice of you, but you can see off in the distance several of them land not too far away from you and seem to be like looking through rubble and seem to be searching for something. But if you are trying to avoid them, it's not hard. So you can relatively quickly, you get to the edge. As you approach the edge and look over, first of all, it is a blast of heat seems to immediately almost like punch you in the face coming up from the edge. The air down below just superheated and intense. So what you guys have thought of as hot here is nothing compared to this strong breeze that is blowing straight up from the land below. Then, but there's also the tremendous distance down. You see the river Styx flowing below you, but then you also see directly on the shores directly below you is very clearly a intense battle between it looks like just a melee of fiends fighting each other. It's not even clear if there are well-defined battle lines or if these are armies fighting each other or if this is just some kind of strange gathering of just violence. But this is going on along the shores below you. So you're seeing various fiends ripping each other apart, stabbing each other and bludgeoning each other with weapons, using their teeth and their claws and their tails to just decimate and impale, and all kinds of gore. And through it all, you see a kind of black tar-like substance beginning to coat the ground below the bodies as they accumulate, staining the ground with the fiendish blood. So it makes a little bit more sense now, seeing that why there are fewer fiends that you have been encountering here in Flamekeep.
How far down is it, would we say?
So Flamekeep is floating about 500 meters above the ground, and then from there, this battle seems to be going on for a long way. So it's going to be, and you see that the battle is not just happening on the ground, but it's also happening in the air as well. And it seems like it's kind of happening all along the banks of the river below. So whether you can see, even though you can't see behind you to the ground below, it appears as if it continues beyond the edge below Flame Keep.
Eggnog, I think you're going to have to be very careful with your flying.
For us, a few Imperial folk, 500 meters, about 1,600 feet.
Unless, based on what we're seeing, would I be able to ascertain how many of these fiends I'd have to kill before they make me their queen?
Points.
Many? How much blood do I have to spill before they know who is the best?
You might actually get that answer at some point in this campaign.
Okay, let's do this Highlander time. Only one survives.
I will do my best.
Does the gem point in any specific direction? Or do we need to just like start hang gliding and have the gem point us where we need to go, where we need to glide to?
Well, he said north, so I assume that it would be a continual flight northward then.
Yeah, for now it's just kind of pointing north, which also happens to be directly in the path of this army.
And so at such a height, like we should be able to see pretty fucking far out.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, how big is does this? Sure, there's got to be a limit. I don't know. To how the range of this battle.
There is. No, there is. It doesn't go on forever, but it is pretty far. Vegnog, since you are the one that would be doing the gliding, I think, and your personal range of flight and everything, if you want to give me a glider check using wisdom, you can.
I'll have to add that.
So do you have the
know.
proficiency
in glider?
Yeah, well, it might be.
If only you were a land vehicle, man, then I'd be good.
Are you using the Roll20 sheet or your the D&D Beyond?
Roll20 sheet.
Okay.
D&D Beyond.
Okay, so D&D Beyond. So is there a place on the D&D Beyond where you can do like proficiency in vehicles and dice and all that stuff?
I'm not sure if there's like a way to roll it. Yeah,
I mean, I could just roll like a.
I think you just pick the skill
check.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just do a wisdom check and add your proficiency bonus to it.
Do an advanced Fernia aeronautics check. You're proficient in that, right?
And adding a 3 to that.
Okay.
21.
So Vegnog, you would have a pretty good understanding of the distance based on the wind patterns with these. I mean, the thermals that are updrafting from below you are pretty intense and should help carry you pretty far. You should be able to glide long enough to get past the armies. You're pretty confident about that. Now, mobility may be a little bit limited because of the strength of these winds. So there's, and you do see that there are some aerial battles going on. So it would be a matter of trying to avoid those if possible.
Does it look like there's like a high point that So we see this battle. Does it look like there's any sort of like mountain or spire or any sort of like high thing that that because like another vantage point that you could glide towards at least?
Yeah. So give me a perception check. And everybody can give me a perception check. Okay. So the perception check was everybody can really see it, but it's just a matter of knowing what you're looking at. So off in the distance, it does look like there is some kind of large structure. It almost is kind of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa sort of thing because of the angle that it's at. But it's a solid structure. It's not like it's a building or has windows or anything. And it looks like there's like almost like a field of iron around it. Lux, you get the sense that it looks like a giant stake that has been impaled into the ground and just a mass of chains, like a field full of chains. But the structure or the spike, it does go pretty high into the air. So probably about 5-6 stories maybe. So it's still significantly lower than you guys, but it's also still pretty high compared to the surrounding area. I don't know if that's what you were looking for, Dustin, or if that helps. I mean, there are some mountains in the distance as well, but nothing that you'd be able to get to in a single glide.
We could head that way, or I think I can get us past. I think I can get us past this battle, assuming that we don't run into any sort of unwanted trouble on our way over it. I was not anticipating bringing an extra passenger, but
I can arrange something.
Right, we can leave him behind for now.
it is okay. I have fifth handle
Oh,
if needed.
Wait a second, that's not a handle.
It's the dangly one.
Oh no, this handle seems kind of loose. Let me tighten it for you real fast.
how long would it take to fly over the battle or glide over the battle?
So based on Vegnug's check, Vegnug, you would guess probably it might be 20 minutes or so before you actually get clear. So a decent flight, but given the air currents, one that's achievable.
20 minutes. But, that's assuming we don't run into trouble. You should keep one of your hands free in case you need to fight things off.
Wise.
Nothing's worse than turbulence when you're flying over a battlefield of demons.
Place your seat back in the full upright position.
Love your fifth love handle in the full upright position.
I mean, are we talking just handles here? We got any method for securing ourselves?
I suppose you could tie some rope to the handle as a harness of sorts.
It's probably a good
But,
idea.
So like out of his side comes four handles. As they come out, they at the ends kind of swivel out, and there are two like kind of like like the monkey bars. It's got like the like kind of they're not monkey bars, but they've got like the actual handle that kind of move a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, they kind of like are. It's like a bar, and then it's like a horseshoe almost. So there's two of those, so you can grab onto those. And then there's a fifth one that protrudes from between his legs, and there's two handles that come out of there.
Well,
This is the spare. This is the back seat.
We have Solomon. There's 6 of us total.
oh.
Who's the? Well, there's 5 flying.
Yeah.
And
He
five
himself
passengers.
doesn't need one.
Yeah,
5 passengers.
5 passengers, yeah. Okay, everyone pick your favorite handle.
I'm not grabbing that one. That one's yours. And I point to Project Ezreal. That one's yours.
Very well. And I grab a hold of it.
Firm
Do you
tight.
react in any way? Yeah.
Does it straighten?
Yeah, do I fall off? Does it go?
No, there's no reactor.
Oh.
It's like, don't be afraid. Just grab hold of it.
Yeah, good tight hold on it. I'll grab onto one of the front handles, I guess.
Okay, so
I want to know how this looks.
yeah, so I was just going to ask. So Vegna, could you describe the full transformation, what it looks like, and what it looks like as you guys step off the edge?
Not in a way that's safe for work.
So
YouTube safe.
YouTube safe. So I described the handles coming out, so they dangle down off the side. So they have a little bit of leeway. So like as it's going, like you can rock back and forth a little bit. So is Ewan the only one that's going to be tying rope as like an extra harness?
I mean, it depends how much rope how many of us still have rope? We've used
Yeah.
quite a bit of it, that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I got a 50-footer, so
Yeah, I got a 50-footer as well.
I mean that would be plenty. That'd be plenty to like you could run it back and forth as a static line and
Yeah. Do we have to balance ourselves out here right now? Because like Alyssa's fucking huge.
Not that big.
Is-
My equipment weighs 255 pounds.
it would be best if there could be some balance. It would make the flying part easier.
Now you want to have a bit of imbalance so you can maneuver a bit easier.
Maybe
Me and-
Alyssa wants to be in the middle.
Me and my gear are 290.
Okay, now you and Alyssa on each side.
Well, I have 255 worth of gear, and then I have 190 worth of personal weight.
Right. So Lux with Alyssa, right? Where is Lux very big? I don't know. I guess I haven't really. She's kind of
thick is
scrawny,
Lux?
but
How many C's thick is
but she's
Lux?
also like a half orc or whatever, or something, orc or something. I don't fucking know.
Never ask a woman her weight.
Yeah, I don't think she's that big. Actually, I don't have her weight written down, but I didn't picture her as very big. I mean, she's probably just a standard half orc size.
I don't know
Whatever
why,
that is.
but I feel like I remember you having mentioned before she's like 80 pounds or something like that.
That Pyelius was 80 pounds.
Oh,
Anorexic half orcs.
I don't know.
I
what
mean,
this-
Lux is also what, 80 or something? Like,
No, I
she's
have her
old.
age. She's 63.
Undisclosed.
Okay.
But on her Facebook, she puts 35.
63. I'm pretty sure that's how old Zarius is in the other game.
There's some questions here that need to be answered.
Mm.
Twins separated at birth.
How big is Solomon?
Base weight for half orc is 140 according to the PHP.
So Solomon is big. He's got full plate armor that he's wearing right now, which is
5
also adamantine plate armor.
Base 65 and then
That doesn't
whatever
necessarily mean
adamantine
anything.
adds.
Adamantine is pretty dense in my games. So his total equipment is 235 pounds, and he weighs 225. So
Almost the exact same as me at the end of the day.
All right.
So
Well, one of you guys is gonna have to offload some fucking gear.
Or we just go on each side for perfect balance, as all things should be.
How tall is Solomon? He's 225 fucking pounds.
He's
or
dense.
you
Big
Dense,
motherfucker.
yeah.
or Ewan takes the middle seat.
That works.
Solomon
Because the-
is 6'6".
Oh wow, really? Oh wow. Easy. Yeah, because I made you in 6'1". We're a bunch of tall motherfuckers.
I don't know why I always pictured you in like a small, like stocky guy, like Wolverine, like 5'3", but also 5'3" in width.
Nope. No,
That's how I
I'm a big
mentioned
dude.
Solomon.
6'1", 200 pounds.
So if we put Ewan in the middle, because that way we'll balance everything else, now we could have Project Israel and Lux on the sides then, and that would be almost ideally balanced.
Yeah, I pretty much have no gear and I'm super light. I'm a withered young man. That's
Well, Lux is a withered, older, mature lady, so it's perfect.
All right. Well, I'll
roll up.
fasten up a fucking like a seat.
Regnog roll out as you start slipping
So-
off.
So since you got a 50 footer, you could probably, you could easily you could probably like wrap most people into a harness with that.
I'll be the
Um,
anchor. If somebody falls, I'll be the one to try and catch them. I
When we
mean,
go into a
Alyssa should
landing.
be, but I'm fairly strong myself.
So everybody kind of grabs on, and then they're kind of all ready. They're all like strapped up and ready to go. And imagine like we're all just like kind of, we walk over, we kind of like do this like a few steps away, and then we're all ready to go. Are you ready?
Ready as we can be, by the looks of it.
Now, how big is the
So-
drop going to be?
Hopefully not too bad. This is first time more than 30 seconds.
Contact.
I
Okay.
definitely take a big toke.
I breathe in all that secondhand smoke.
There's two wings come out of Egnog's back, shaped like, like straight like plain wings. They got little like doohickeys at the end. And he begins like taking like a few big running leaps and then jumps and kind of pulls you guys along. And as you guys go over the edge, like you sink down as your weight falls in onto the handles, and as your rope is however you strapped it upon yourself is kind of at least between your legs. And when the initial, there's this period where you have this hot air coming up and you have this hot air coming down. And when we kind of turbulate a little bit, but then it smooths out after, maybe 30 or so feet.
Wish we were all playing spellcasters, then we could turn this thing to an AC 130 and just bomb the entire battlefield with spells.
So how is everybody reacting to basically falling with style?
Some key came out. There was a bit, I admit.
Ewan probably loves it. He's all about having a good time in the right moments, but what else can you do right now but enjoy the sensation of flight.
So Ewan is feeling exhilarated by all of this. Alyssa's butthole puckered a bit. What about Project Ezreal?
He would just be frozen, just stiff as just sitting there like deer in headlights.
The turbulence is what did it for me. That little shake suddenly and massive drop.
He's also getting flashbacks of being experimented on, so he's having a hard time.
And then Lux, what about you? How is Lux taking this experience?
Well, knowing that she's adept at falling, she's kind of calculating the whatever potential injuries she could get, but if she falls from this height. But since she's took a big old toke, she just doesn't really care, and she's glad she's not walking.
Okay. Less pressure on the ankles and hips.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a little bit of rope burn is all. Which, we don't know what Lux did in her youth. Maybe she's used to that.
Never know.
Yeah, I'm sure Joe Farr is interested in that weird shit, or at least more are. Who knows what stage of life Lux came into his. So you guys are gliding. It is after that initial turbulence and resettling, it is pretty smooth for the most part. The air is incredibly hot, way hotter than it was just standing in Flame Keep. It's also acrid and smells of smoke much more intensely. So it is a bit of a shock. It is a little difficult to breathe. You are feeling like your lungs are burning a bit from it. Lux, you're probably used to it. And Vegnog, you don't need to breathe. So, you guys got that going for you. But Vegnog, give me a glider check using dexterity. Okay.
That's +3 because so 16.
Okay, so as you are moving forward, you suddenly the air quickly changes as an additional thermal that's a little bit more intense than the others kind of rises up quickly, and it catches you a bit by surprise. There's a good amount of turbulence as it kind of rocks everything a bit, but and for those of you like Alyssa, butthole puckers a little bit more, but Vegnog's skill, he manages to turn into the thermal and use it to rise up a bit and then level it out. So it is a moment of excitement, but Vegnog is fairly skilled at using his glider despite the weather conditions. He is adapting to it fairly well. As you guys are proceeding over the battlefield, you are continuing to see the carnage unfold below you. Some of you are getting a little bit better of a perspective. There do appear to be some banners that are being used that indicate that these may be different factions that are currently engaged in battle. Off in the distance, there's also a couple of aerial skirmishes that are going on. So as you guys are moving through the air, is there anything in particular that you're doing, questioning, or looking out for as you are kind of flying along, mostly helpless to Vegnog's skill with the glider?
I'm going to be looking at the aerial battle and all the ones going on around us and saying, oh God, I hope none of them come over here.
Yeah, primarily I will be watching for something to notice us and try and come and attack us.
Something shooting
Hopefully-
from below or from above.
Hopefully Solomon is, observing the gem and confirming we're going in the right direction.
I imagine Solomon, I don't know for sure, but I imagine Solomon has a difficulty with heights. And so he is just grabbing on tightly to everything. And he double roped everything. So there's no way he's actually holding the gem in his hand. He may even be screaming, "Mother!"
Mommy.
I don't know how we're hanging exactly, but if I can grab it, if I can go into the pockets and grab that fucking gem myself, I will.
You want to do that while 500 meters above a raging battle and risk dropping the gem into it?
Listen,
Yeah,
there's only one way
risk-taker.
we're going to wind up in this battle, and that's if he drops it.
That's right. Here we go.
Only if it looks like it would be easy to do.
It does not. Like I said, the air blowing around you is intense. It is, you know, you guys are it's almost like being in a wind tunnel or in the middle of a hurricane in terms of how intensely the air is blasting you and buffeting you. Vegnog is making the flight look easy, but Vegnog, you're really having to concentrate to make sure that this remains steady, especially with all the passengers that you're carrying with you.
Yeah, he's just not talking. He didn't even give you the courtesy captain's announcement when there was turbulence. Like, just really focusing.
Gus got up to go to the bathroom too when we hit the turbulence.
All right. Everybody give me perception checks. Vegnog, because you're focusing, you can give it at disadvantage.
Concentrating too hard on not pissing myself any more than I already have.
I can't do skill checks above a 10 on a roll, so
Perfect for death saves. Oh, so whenever there's like a little bit of turbulence, Project Ezreal would like he's like sort of praying to himself or sort of like a mantra to himself, and he just keeps on saying, blood is life, life is everlasting, and blood flows within my veins. And he just keeps on repeating that over and over and over again.
Insight check, does blood flow within his veins?
You've seen it.
I don't think that was blood, that was food coloring.
Oh, got me.
Venus pink and
syrup.
arterial blue.
Corn
It was
syrup.
actually ketchup.
Just bringing snacks.
That reminds me, does Vegnog have a compartment on him with, you know, like bags of peanuts or anything?
Yeah, if you tickle the middle one.
You know, you have to pay for it.
Oh.
I got money and I got nothing to spend it on. Here, it's fine.
Yeah, where's first class? Is that-
I'm in the front, so I'm in first class with
Ewan's in
Solomon.
coach. Smells a little back there.
So, Lux, I sent you a message.
Okay, so yeah, Lux says, I think we've been spotted.
I beg your pardon.
And she points into the direction of these large forms that start to fly up towards us.
Alrighty.
Vegnog doesn't happen to have a ball turret with a dual 50 cal in it, right? He's not B-17 or something.
Or a
She
rocket
does not.
booster. What happens if you get hasted?
Vegnog,
Glide
evasive
faster.
maneuvers.
Glide faster. There you go. Your movement does increase, right?
Does anybody have haste?
If anybody
We
would,
could.
it would be Project Ezreal.
That's right.
Nope.
But
He's
you,
got it.
you
Sure
probably
he
have to
does.
have blood in order for him to fucking do it to you. So
Yep, you just have to take some of the blood.
Sorry.
just
You
splash
got
him
no
with the blood.
blood.
Use the blood flow.
Just all you gotta do is like I don't know, cut your hand and smear the blood on him. Does that work?
Yeah, that could work. We'll figure it out. But I don't have haste.
Are you sure? You should look again.
Oh, I
Vegnog,
forgot.
bogeys, 9 o'clock low. Incoming.
Alright.
So this is now what it looks like.
Ball draw deaths.
Full black.
Of course, it's all black. Why do I always forget to do dumb shit like this? All right. Daylight. Okay, so it's
I'm not sure I'm even on the map.
oh, you know what? People are not on the map. That's probably why. Vegnog, you can probably see, can't you?
I can't. No.
Oh.
Vegnog's going, he won't need.
What about
eyes.
now?
Nope.
Now, you just saying nope, or can you actually not see?
Okay, that's
With
why.
their eyes.
Hold on. I know what I need to do.
What happened to Peter Hanna forced me to go down on Sunday.
Now I can see.
Yeah. I needed to fix your token. And I should have had everybody else's tokens. You'll be off to the side, but you'll be able to at least see what's going on.
Ooh, that does not look healthy.
Oh boy.
How big are these things, out of curiosity? Medium, small, tiny?
They seem to be medium sized. I mean, hard to tell from the distance, but
Apparently,
Nah.
several is half a dozen. So, just for future reference.
Yeah.
Well, good thing
Half a baker's dozen.
they're not in chevron formation.
Yeah, so they
technically,
aren't. They're
so,
screwed.
Yeah.
All their attacks
Yeah.
are disadvantaged.
That's a secret
Yeah.
formation that Mike made up. It's called whiplash formation.
Oh no.
All right, so this is going to be interesting because we are going to be using the chase rules.
Ooh, so excited.
So the first thing is, well, first before we initiate this chase, is there anything anybody wants to do once Lux says, "Hey, look out," and see these things flying at everybody?
Are they coming from the 12 o'clock position or the 6 o'clock position?
They are coming from your 6 o'clock.
Okay, so from behind.
Yeah.
If I cast fly, will Vegnog go any faster?
That is a good question. And Vegnog will not go any faster, but Vegnog will have much greater maneuverability.
Which may be useful. All right, I'm gonna do
Yes.
that. So, so what that'll look like is, I'll look behind and be like, oh, and I would like cut into my hand a little bit, and like this blood would start to like form over Vegnog, or it would like slightly layer him, and then all of a sudden it would shoot out like these kind of bat wings, which are like transparent blood looking. And now you can fly.
All right, so I'm gonna just add an icon that you're concentrating, just to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
track of that.
That's
And
a
then
trip.
also to Vegnog that you are flying.
Let's go with it. Yep.
Well, we know you're flying, but you have the fly spell cast upon you now. So is there anything else anybody's doing in preparation while these things are coming at everybody?
Are they actually only 15 feet behind us?
Good question. No. So with the chase rules, each square is a more ambiguous measurement than it would normally be. So it's not 5 feet. It's not even a set. Well, it's kind of, I guess it represents like each square is kind of like 100 feet. So as we're going through this, we're going to be kind of play testing this together to see how this works. So it may be a little bit slower while we're going through it, but I think it'll be fun. So first thing, if there's nothing else anybody's doing before we officially begin the chase, is there anything that anybody else wants to do?
I don't know. Maybe I can, because I feel like again, I don't remember how like we're looking here, but if there's a way, if I'm harnessed up like at the waist and shit, if I could sort of like tilt back and sort of prop my feet against Vegnog to where I'm sort of like standing upside down and using the rope basically to keep me attached. That way I can have my fists ready to, I don't know, do shit.
Okay. Yeah, we can say that you do that without any issues. So the first thing well, first before we do that, is there anything else anybody wants to do?
Okay, so just a frame of reference. What So I have painter supplies. How big are these things of paint? I mean, I imagine they're like little tiny jars or something, right?
Yeah. I would say that they're probably equivalent or maybe slightly bigger than an ink bottle. Do you want to use them to try and cause distraction or blind them? Is that what you're looking to do?
Yeah, if I had enough paint, I might try to put it on my brush. I don't know if I could get
Just
enough
so
on my.
happen to have an ink bottle.
Yes, so probably like a little bit bigger than that, I would say.
So I might be able to, because I'm proficient with painter supplies. So with a brush, from all the graffiti, I mean, all the painting I do. So maybe I would think maybe I could pour it on the brush and like fling it to,
Okay.
At least distract them or.
So something that you could do when they get closer. They're still
Yeah.
pretty far away though.
Yeah.
So just to kind of clarify for everybody, and we'll be going through this together. So, hey, get off her, you fucking stupid cat. So yeah, so a square is a more ambiguous thing, but essentially when doing a chase, this is kind of lines up with the ranges. So anything up to 30 feet, you need to be within the same square. Anything up to 100 feet is one square away. So for example, if why can I not control these guys? If this guy was here, they could use it would be considered like 100 up to 100 feet away. So that's kind of that. So when you guys are thinking about the ranges of your attacks, that's kind of what you're looking at.
So if they're on top of us, that means, oh yeah, there it is, up to 30 feet. Yeah, must occupy the same square as the target. So that's the only time that you can do a melee attack is if they're literally on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also this is the only time that they would be able to do an attack as well.
Unless they're ranged.
Right. So
Coming from above or below us?
so this is kind of an abstraction, right? So they're not actually necessarily in this formation. This doesn't represent like this is more representative of the distances. So why is that not?
So
I'm pretty sure they're coming from underneath us.
yeah, I'd assume so.
Yeah, I mean, but it's more like, so if you're turning a 3D map into a 2D map, this is kind of more representative. And they're not even side by side like this. So like, for example, if one came up to here, it would be considered the same square, because the only thing that we're worried about is the up and down distance, not the left or right. Does that make sense? So then
So if they're on the same line as us, they're in our square, essentially. Is that what you're saying?
Right. So
Okay, gotcha.
so the point of what you guys want to do is, while defending against their attacks, you want to keep moving up faster than they're moving up towards you.
Okay.
So the first step of this is to roll initiative. And everybody rolls initiative, because even though Vegnog is the only one really piloting, everybody has the opportunity to take actions.
There we go. I didn't click my token first. Then I did, and I got a 20.
Same.
Does initiative count as an ability check? I don't remember.
Yes, it does.
I think so, yeah. So this is disadvantage then.
Eggnog's getting that extra point two in glider form. I'm pretty sure.
I'm edging, you know. I'm edging out here.
Yep. It's that glider form. It gets an extra point two.
Told it to do a disadvantage in the little gear thing. I'm not sure if it did though.
Okay, so Ewan, what was your initiative?
9.
Oh,
Okay. All right, so we have Human, Lux, Alyssa, Hellflyers, and then Vegnog.
here, let me. I use D&D Beyond, but I'll roll through.
No, that's fine. I'll add for this one.
Oh, okay.
I'll add the one you got. Wait a minute, I already had that you in there. I didn't need to worry about that. You got your 16 in there. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm actually able to edit my own initiative score. So
That is interesting.
Yeah, there we go. I can too. I go first. Did it say 500? It doesn't. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so shoot, where is it? All right, so once again, so now once we roll initiative, so we have, you know, people still go the same, and you guys can take your actions. So there's a couple of things to figure out first. So first of all, in terms of the chase, so we need to, the chase can last without penalty a number of rounds equal to your Constitution modifier, Spegnog, since you're acting as basically the vehicle and the person that's actually doing the movement. So that is the number of rounds that you can do without any kind of penalty. After that, you'll need to make a Constitution save.
okay. So number of rounds of my Constitution modifier.
Right, and then after that, you need to make Constitution saves that will increase in difficulty, taking a level of exhaustion each time that you fail those.
All right.
And then why did I? Where is it?
Sure, that -3 con you got there is going to do us too good there, Vegnog.
So Vegnog, are you wearing any armor?
Yeah, it's melded into him.
Okay, that's your racial benefit though, right? It's not like any added armor or
Correct.
okay.
Integrated armor, yes.
Okay, so then you add, so your chase roll is going to be have a +2 bonus from that. Additionally, your movement rate right now, because fly is a 60 feet movement rate, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then that is +1 bonus for each 5 feet over 30. So that'll be an additional +6. So your +8 bonus to your roll for your chase roll. And then the chase roll is going to be basically your vehicle check, so your glider check.
Hmm.
And let me just make sure that I got this right. Where is it? Sorry, guys. I reviewed these rules and they're still new.
No, no worries.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so it's going to be where is the involving vehicles?
There it is.
So for you, it'll be a dexterity based check. No, actually, I'm sorry, Constitution. So it'll be your glider proficiency plus your Constitution modifier plus the +2 because you're not wearing armor, and then the +6 for your speed.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
So this will, yeah, that makes sense.
And then this is going to be an opposed roll between you and each of their rolls, and it will happen at the end of each round. You now, since you're the glider, you still can take actions, but some of your actions may result in advantage or disadvantage depending on certain factors. Everybody else, you are able to act normally without needing to worry about making a chase roll. So there's that, but you do have to worry about the ranges, and it's not just like attack or defend, although you could take the dodge action, but there are other actions that you can take. You can make ranged attacks, you can do spell attacks or cast spells, you can cause distractions or create obstacles, which is something Lux was talking about with the paint. Hide or search when appropriate. Now, another thing to consider is the dash action. So Vegnog, this is more applicable to you. When you take the dash action, you can roll your chase roll with advantage, but you can only use the dash action a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier. Since you have the cunning action, though, you could do it your Constitution modifier +3.
Whoa.
Cunning action.
Yeah, because you're a rogue, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. It's good because I have a 0 Constitution modifier.
So I know a lot of that is clear as mud right now, but let's try it and see what happens.
Okay.
So we have Lux up, Project Ezreal on deck, Vegnog in the hole.
Let's see. So they're too far away to like hurl any of this paint at them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like 300 feet away.
Okay. I don't know if I could do the help action, but I will attempt to not move around too much or get in an optimal position to allow Vegnog to get maximum speed or not agility, but I'm not going to move. I'm going to attempt to just not move around and trying to do something and just try to focus on being still or at least moving in a position to give him the best chance to get away.
Okay.
Being aerodynamic.
Thank you. Yes, that was the word I was looking for.
Okay.
You want me to make a roll for it or something?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think what role it would be for you to one, know how to do that, and two, to position yourself.
Wisdom based something?
Yeah, just make me let's do survival. We'll do a survival check.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll say Vegnog, that'll add +1 to your modifier. Only one person can do that at a time.
It's like monkish inspiration, kind of.
Yeah, there you go. So that is, and then that's something else we're gonna consider for a new rule. So, okay, so Lux, you've managed to kind of position yourself into a more aerodynamically beneficial option, and so that will give a +1 to the chase roll at the end. Anything else you want to do?
No.
Okay. So then we got Project Ezreal up, Vegnog on deck, and Ewan in the hole.
Okay. They are too far away. I'm just double checking. Oh, that's only 30 feet. Okay. I'm gonna just prepare to cast Eldritch Blast, I guess. When they get in range. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's 120 feet, so still a bit.
Okay. And you're maintaining concentration on the fly spell.
Yeah.
Okay. Vegnog, anything you want to do?
So obviously he can't, well, he's concentrating too much to be able to look behind. Can someone tell me what these things look like? Can you get the good glimpse of them?
Demon bats.
Bat things with scorpion tails. They're like big imps.
So Vegnog would use let's see, because I can use dash. So I would use dash as an action. I wouldn't have to use it for a bonus action. So I would think for my bonus action, I would try to use, so I'd be looking around on the, like, below me, or like up, like, because I'm looking up, but I could probably scan below. And I'm going to use, like, my eye for detail. So I'm going to try to see if I can spot creatures that match this description on the battle below, and seeing like what like if there's any, basically trying to see is like, is there like something that's repelling them? Do they seem particularly vulnerable? Can I glean anything on, like, on their movements?
Okay. Give me an insight check.
Oh, are you kidding me? Man, that's a shame because I have like expertise in that, but not the role I
Not
want to
today.
spend an action point on.
How'd she die?
Oh yeah.
So give me another roll just to see how bad of a failure it is.
Yeah, I mean, it might be worth reconsidering that action point.
Yeah, no kidding.
They might catch up to us real fast.
Yeah.
Tell me it's not that one.
You're gonna kill us all.
Maybe I will use an action point. Yeah, you guys convinced me.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. So you're not seeing anything that they're particularly vulnerable to or anything like that. You do see that there are instances of fiends below battling other similar creatures that seem to be using some kind of missile weapon against them. Also, since you're dealing with fiends, there is magic being thrown about the battlefield. But you do notice that there are other groups that are fighting one another in the air that you could potentially lead towards. It is a risk-reward situation, though, because the reward, these things might get distracted by other creatures fighting against them. Risk, they may be aligned in the same group, or may still decide that you are a more interesting target.
Okay. In which direction are these other creatures?
Once again, this map is an abstraction, so so we won't need to worry about direction. We'll just say whether you're moving towards them or away from them.
Okay.
And we can represent that with something else if you want to move towards them.
I guess I think start turning towards them, not directly, just kind of in such a way that I could veer away, especially veer away if I needed to, especially since Project Ezreal's no longer in the middle seat.
Okay. So this is, we'll do that.
I'm almost thinking of like a juke situation. Like you don't run at them, you run like on their side, and then you move to the side at the end.
Right. Where's something that we can. We'll use this guy. So we'll say that is right here. So that'll give you time to get close enough as you approach to make the decision whether you want to continue on that path or not. So that's how we'll represent that.
Sounds good. And then I would use my action to I guess dash.
Okay. Ewan, you're up. Alyssa on deck. Monsters in the hole.
I'm shit from afar, so I wouldn't even want to try and throw a fucking boomerang in this situation because I don't know if it'll make it back to me.
The boomerang is magically will return to you.
Okay, well that's cool. It's still well outside the range of it, but so, and even then, like, yeah, I could still throw it. I won't activate the thunder damage because I don't want to draw attention to us yet.
What when doing the when we're talking about a chase, when you're doing those actions, the range of an attack is based on the long range, I believe.
Mhm.
So what
So
is
it's
the
a
long range of
disadvantage.
your?
120.
Okay. Okay.
So they're still too far, obviously, but
hmm
I can, be ready to grab it, and because there's nothing else like around us, right?
No, just these guys that are
All right.
trying to catch up to you, and the ones that you notice that Vegnog seems to be veering towards.
Right. So yeah, I'm not gonna like pull out the boomerang just yet. I'm gonna wait and see what happens first. Whether they get closer to us or we get closer to these things, and just see what happens. I'm honestly kind of picturing right now, if like something gets close to us, I'm just gonna grab the motherfucker and throw it.
Okay.
So here I am doing nothing.
Alyssa.
Well, being that I'm a range specialist with this character, I would like to rage, and then I'd like to throw all of my javelins, which I do not have. I'm going to position myself and just be dangling from Vegnog with the rope, so I can take my sword out and prepare an action. So if anything comes close to me, I can whack it.
Okay.
Nothing else I can do, really.
Yeah, we're just preparing.
All right. So all of these guys are going to. Let me just double check. Oops. Where is it? So they're all just going to focus on dashing for the time being. So that's what they're going to do. So now we do an opposed check. So Vegnog, you're going to do your glider check modified by Constitution, +2 for no armor, +6 for your speed bonus, +1 from Lux, and +2 from the fly spell.
Okay.
That's huge modifiers. That's great.
All right. So this
And
this will
it's
be-
also made with advantage because you use dash.
This will be plus 11 plus 3.
Oh, Dr. Shiva.
Yeah, 11 plus 3 is 14. So 14 on top of this one. Thank God.
Okay, so that's a 25 total. And then there's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go top to bottom, left to right. So
Yep.
27 versus 25. So there's no change with that guy.
Where are you
15
getting
minus
25?
because your total was a 25, wasn't it?
No.
What?
Oh, it's advantage. Oh, it's advantage. Yeah, 25. Never mind.
Okay. Whew. It's like, oh no.
Oh boy, here we go.
So let me bring up the chase steps just so that everybody can see them in the shared screen. No, chase action. Where's the roll? Okay, so if the difference is 5, less than 5, there's no change. And then for
Okay.
every 5 that it's beaten, or then there's a 1 square change. So
Okay.
so that first one, no change. The second one, they
Goes
fall back 2.
Nice.
The third one got a critical success potentially. So I'm gonna roll that one again.
So he's gonna kill us. He's gonna roll
Do they
another
have
nat 20.
advantage?
They do. They all use dash.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it doesn't beat yours. So it's just a success, and they beat yours by 6. So that one moves up 1. Right, I'm on. And then this one beat by 5, so that one moves up by 1. And then the next one lost by less than 5, so no change from them. Then the next one, no change. Next one, no change. Okay. So I think that's right. So that's a change in position now. There was not a whole lot of change, but there was some. So now we start again at the top of the initiative. So we have Lux, you're up, Project Ezreal on deck, Vagnog in the hole.
So would somebody else want to do the completely meta? But would somebody else want to do the survival to try to get the +1 as opposed to me this time? I mean, since I don't have much of a plus to it.
I have +2, so
Yeah, I mean, mine's a +2.
We're sort of still waiting for them to catch up. So
right.
All right. I will do the same thing again.
Okay. All right, it's good enough. So Vagnog, you'll get an additional +1 to your check.
All right.
Project Ezreal.
Preparing Eldritch Blast. End turn.
Okay. Vagnog.
If I dash, I'm gonna move into this creature's or into this swarm's territory in front of.
So
Or I'm gonna move into this
the
thing.
dash doesn't have anything to do with it. This is the group of creatures that you're kind of veering towards.
Yeah, I mean, like if I keep going in this direction, like the
Yeah,
next
you'll be.
turn.
Well, they haven't noticed you yet. They may not notice you by the end of this round. So, and then that will be kind of like determining, how are they going to react? It does seem like this swarm is fighting against each other. So it may be that at least one of the sides that are fighting in that group are against the ones that are following you.
Okay. So I'm gonna start like kind of turning like, so I'm going towards them on their side. I'm gonna start like leveling out and then like even slightly kind of like just kind of start going straight and then like and slightly going away.
So you're trying to not go directly into them?
Yeah, so I'd like be like I was heading towards like their left shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
like of the left side, and then I'm gonna be kind of cutting to go straight, and then just kind of maneuvering a little bit away from them.
Okay, so you don't want to get directly close to them, but hopefully close enough that as you pass by, they might do something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll use my action to dash. And I guess that's all.
Okay. Ewan, still waiting to punch or
Yeah,
throw?
Punch or grab and throw. Yeah.
Okay. And then Alyssa, same.
I'm actually going to power up using my special movie and then get ready to do it.
I guess something I could do is I'll look around again, make sure nothing else is noticing us.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean,
so you want to take the search action?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Don't do it. We don't need to know about all the other things coming at us.
Yeah.
Rolling
so
below a 10 again.
You're not seeing anything in particular that seems to have caught you've caught their attention per se, but there's a lot going on the battlefield, so it's and you guys are still pretty high up, so you're not quite sure.
Okay.
Can't imps be invisible? Stuff like that.
How far off the ground are we?
You're probably about 400 meters or so. It's still really high.
Okay.
All right, Hellflyers. So this guy is close enough that he's going to begin. And he's actually gonna, because let's see. Yep. So he's doing this. So everybody. So Vegnog, give me your vehicle proficiency. So your glider using dexterity.
All right. Add 3 to this.
Okay. So you managed to avoid the worst of it. Oh, you actually managed to avoid all of it. So well done there.
Woo. You saved us. We would have been caught in a fire net.
So that was that guy. The others are continuing to dash, and in fact, this guy is also going to dash because he can do it as a bonus action. And then it's time for the vehicle checks again, the chase rolls. So Dustin, you roll yours.
We believe in you.
Adding.
Oh.
Is it 2 for the dash?
So it's advantage.
Oh, advantage. Okay.
Right. So you're adding the +1 from Lux, the +2 from no armor, the +6 from your speed, and the plus, and then +2 from flying.
Oh yeah, 22 then.
Okay. And then starting up and then going down and to the left. So starting with this guy, This is the only one who's not rolling with advantage because even though he dashed, he did an attack. And so because he does an attack, his chase roll is normally at disadvantage, but since he dashed, the advantage cancels it out. So
normal roll. Yeah.
so his is a normal roll, all the other ones are at advantage. Okay. So 20 and you had a 22, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's less than 5, so there's no change there. The next guy, so that's 5.
No change.
So he moves up 1. So 22, no change. 22, that's a difference of 5. So this one moves up 1. And then going this way. 19, that's within 5. So that guy may advance a lot. Let's see. Okay, no. So that's just, so 22. So
It'd be move up 1.
yeah, you would still just barely move up
Oh.
1. And then last guy,
Oh, shit.
26. So that's still within 5, so he doesn't move. So are the chase rules starting to make sense to people?
Yep. Roll
We're
high.
in chevron formation. We're in trouble, guys.
I noticed that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
clearly battled before.
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
and now they're getting close enough where things are going to get spicy. So, Lux,
For them.
you're up. Project Ezreal and Dak back down in the hall.
I think I'm still too far to do anything.
You are close enough to use your bow if you wanted to.
I think I'd be at disadvantage.
So in a chase, that would be true in most other circumstances. In a chase, the range is based on the long range of your ranged weapon. So long range of, you have a short bow, so that's 320 feet, right?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Think so, because it's like 600 for a longbow or whatever.
Okay.
So let me double check. It should be on your character sheet.
320 is long range. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd be able to hit up to 3 squares away. So 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3. So you could hit this guy or this guy if you wanted to.
Who's the guy that shot the fire at us?
This one.
Okay. So carefully putting my paints away, I will shoot the bow at him with a regular arrow. 'Cause I
Not a
got
+1.
those. Not a +1.
Okay. Okay. So you hit, but the arrow seems to, while it seems to kind of knock him off his flight and shock him a bit, the arrow does break off of his skin, so it doesn't seem to do quite as much damage as you would have thought.
Okay. Let's see. I could shoot him again, right? Or no?
Yeah. Yeah, if you have extra attack.
Yeah, because I'm 6-0. Yeah, I got 2 attacks. Yeah, I'll shoot him again. I like them apples. Same deal.
It's not showing on my screen. Hold on. Yeah. So you didn't use magic
No,
arrow?
I didn't. Nope.
Okay, so that hits, but yeah, it's the same deal. It's not quite as effective, and he's still flying. He's flying a little bit hurt. It seems he's favoring one wing or whatever. I don't know how it looks when you're flying.
That was my good wing. What the hell, man?
Anything else you want to do?
Nope.
Okay. Project Ezreal.
I realize I'm proficient in nature. Would that be helpful, like at finding the wind kind of things, like where the heat rise stuff? Maybe that can help with the flying. I can be like, hey, go over that way.
How would you be able to sense the winds? I'm willing to play along with it,
I can
but
see
how,
them. Like, would you be able to see turbulence? Pretty sure
How-
you could, right?
how?
With your eyes.
Yeah, but the wind is invisible. So
Well,
what?
pilots do it.
But they have instruments that tell them.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I have no clue then.
Don't you have Eldritch Blast?
Yeah, I can prepare it. They're not in range.
How are they? They're not in range.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah, we don't-
120 feet. They're 200 feet away.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have that short bow like you do.
I have my
Okay.
turn. I prepare Eldritch Blast. And like, yeah,
Prepare the Eldritch Blast.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Brendan, I'm willing to go along with it if you can think
I
of
don't
a
know
way
how.
that you'd be.
I honestly can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the I mean, isn't like we're flying over some pit of like fire and stuff. I mean, you could see like the way the ash or crap blows up into the air and shit. I mean, you could probably do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be something.
Um,
Okay, so yes, we can try that. You can try that if you want to.
I've never been a pilot nor flown over a fire lake, so I have no idea.
Come
what
on,
to
you live in
do.
Australia, isn't like the whole place on fire half the time?
There's
all
deserts. There's no
Australians.
water. What are you talking about?
Come
Or
on.
no lava.
Doesn't Australia have fire tornadoes like every other day?
Yep.
Australians
Yeah,
actually
sense
fly
when it
because
is,
you're
maybe.
upside down all the time.
Australia, the place where even the air can kill you.
Someone's never been to LA.
All right, so there is a good amount of particulate like ash and smoke around that would help like show you some of the currents. It will be a pretty difficult check, but it is one that you could make.
Okay. Well, let's give it
We
a crack.
believe in you.
Yeah, that's
Power
pretty
of
good.
the blood compels you.
Okay, so based on that, I would say that you can help direct Vegnog a bit, and if Vegnog is willing to accept that, that's high enough for a +2.
Trust me, I've flown before.
Vegnog would look and say, very good. Thank you. And would start moving in that direction as long as it is not in the same direction as the swarm in front of him.
Okay, so yeah, that's gonna pull you away from there. All right, anything else you doing, Ezreal?
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Vegnog.
Fly good.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash, of course.
Okay. This is your last turn that you can dash, FYI. And then so this is the third round. So before you make your next chase roll, you'll need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna dash for my action, and that's it for this turn.
So like, what would happen if, because you got a dash as a bonus action. What if you were to take your action and your bonus action to dash?
Well, I wouldn't be able to in this scenario because I'd ran out of dashes.
Oh, that's right.
But
Yeah.
but like, yeah.
So that is a good question. Just because of the system advantage, it's advantage versus disadvantage, so you don't get double advantage. But that is something worth considering as I continue to refine this. All right. And actually, I'm realizing because you don't have any Constitution modifier, right? Yours is 0. Okay,
Yeah.
so you should have made the save at the end of last time, but we'll say it's this time. All right, so you're dashing, and then what else were you doing?
I'm gonna veer away from the swarm in front.
Okay. All right, Ewan, anything you want to do?
They're not within range still, right?
Right.
I also got that 120, so
Yeah, you
Yeah,
need
no.
someone to get one step closer.
yeah. Until then, I'll hold an action to do that. Like if they get close, then I toss
Okay.
a couple times, I guess. I don't know. I got multi-attack, so
All right. And then Alyssa?
Holding my action for that big 5-footer.
All right. And then from them, they're all taking the dash action except these guys. They're going to start attacking. So this guy is using. So Vegna, give me a vehicle dexterity check.
Add +3 to this.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh.
So you managed to avoid that.
Round 2.
And then the other guy on the other side is going to, he starts throwing fire at you guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So D6, reroll on a 5, or reroll on a 6. 1, 2. So he's throwing both fire bolts at you, Dustin, Vegnog. So first one
Oh no.
is 18 hit.
Yep.
Take that 1 damage, you bastard.
And then second one, that's a miss.
Like glorified sparklers or something?
He singes my circuits.
Yeah, basically, I guess. Actually, these guys are using dash because it's a bonus action, but it cancels out the disadvantage of their attack. So now we do the chase roll, but first, Dustin, give me a Constitution save.
I believe in you, Dustin.
You can do it.
That ain't bad.
Okay.
does that get that
It's not
plus 2
my
on it too, or
All right, and then just to make sure, it increases by 2 each time. So you missed the last one. So I'm going to say that was just a success. So this time it was DC 12. Next time it's going to be DC 14. And now go ahead and give me your chase roll. So you got the +2 from armor, +6 from speed, +2 from fly, and then another +2 from the nature check that Project Ezreal gave.
Could be a
Ooh.
plus. Whoa.
Roll it again.
Oh,
Ah, close.
nice.
What
No,
do you
it's
mean?
confirmed.
What do you mean,
That's
Vegno? It's
confirmed.
got hyperdrive. Boom, we are out of there.
Engines.
So-
Light
the
speed.
plaid.
So this means anybody that is less, the difference is less than 5, they still move back 1. And anybody who is more than 5, the spaces that they would move back are doubled.
So all up, he rolled like a 30 something, right?
And it would have been like
Yeah.
32. It was plus 12, right?
Yeah.
It was +11 because the flies. It was +11 plus the additional 2 for the nature check, so it'd be +13.
33.
Okay, so 33 is the number.
Fucking
So
hell. And 2 of those fools didn't even dash.
Laser losers.
well, they did dash, but they canceled out from their attack. If that makes sense. So this
Easy.
guy,
That's all that matters.
first one. Okay, and this is
See
without
ya.
it. This is without advantage. So that is
11.
difference of 13. So normally that would be 2. He gets knocked back 4.
Get your ass back there.
Bye-bye.
Then the next one, 28, 33. So that's 5. So he goes back 2. And then this guy,
Oh, get out of
Let's
here,
leave the
buddy.
map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so that's
14, isn't it?
14. So that's only 2, but it turns
4.
into 4. So
Let's go.
and then this one is next, right? Is it this one or is this one? I can't remember. It's this guy. That's the guy.
It's just 2.
Yep.
2 more, right?
And then this one,
Ooh.
30.
Oh boy.
So he still goes back 1 because of the crit. And then he still goes back 1 because of the crit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These guys no longer part of the chase. They're too far back.
Did that one? What about the one guy that's above the dude with the red dot? Did he even go? Because the guy with the red dot was above him, and he dropped down. I don't think he moved him.
I thought he was, no, I did because he was originally here.
Yeah, that was the guy with the red dot, but the guy next to him, I don't think he's gone yet because he's in the same spot.
Oh, is he in the same spot? Okay.
Yep.
So that's 10, which would be 2, but it's doubled, so
Bye-bye.
he's done. So now it's a one-on-one. he's far enough
Just-
back that he's just gonna give up.
Wow.
He's done with it.
Ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it.
Yeah.
I've been shot. I don't want to do with this shit, okay, man? That's all I'm saying.
All right. So that was a chase with these new roles. What did people think of the chase?
I am credit to team.
Yeah, hard for melee people. Very
Yeah.
hard.
Right.
Yeah.
What can they
It
do?
depend. Well, this
Yeah.
was an unusual chase situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chase-
this is like
on foot chase might be a little bit different, right? We
Yeah,
all have to make these rolls and shit like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
especially if it's like you're in a crowd and you're all right next to each other, and then all of a sudden everybody's running. Then it becomes completely different.
Yeah, true. There just wasn't really much other than the enemies to slow us down. And like you said, if we're in a crowd or we're on land, there's a lot of other obstacles that could get in the way. Maybe if like a lava plume shot up, fuck this. Like, I'm not giving you
400
ideas
meters?
now, but yeah, 400-meter lava shot.
So funny you should say that. Had Dustin not re-rolled his that search check that he did, his eye for detail, something similar might have happened, where he would have got shot in the eye with like a blast of lava or something.
It just flew right into a hot ash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it gives a good use. Good call on the action
On the
point.
reroll, yeah.
That's how Dustin's character or Brennan's character, last character, died.
Just rolled ones on what was it? What was I doing? I can't
grapple.
even remember. Oh yeah,
Grapple
grapple.
check.
Opposing grapple check. Oh.
Oh,
Most
Love
epic death
Ever.
it was something, isn't it?
Ever.
When it comes to rolls, that's for sure.
Nobody's ever gonna forget that.
That was so rough. It's been immortalized as well. Peter put up a video.
Had to.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you I think I watched it. But it would be even better if you made you wrote at least a lick for it. Or I guess like a drum solo.
Oh boy.
We got video and everything. It's up on Pornhub. Man gets fucked by dice.
All right, so you guys managed to get away from the swarm of fiends flying around, and eventually you managed to fly past all of these armies. None of them seem to have noticed you any more than the ones that have already kind of seen you, and they don't. But nothing seems to be following you or paying you any attention. So you're able to land relatively smoothly off in the distance, your feet for the first time touching down on Fernia. As you sink your feet into the ground, your feet do kind of kind of sink a little bit. It's almost like stepping into snow, except you realize it's just black ash. Everything is covered in a layer of ash. Some areas it varies. It may only be an inch or two in some spots. Other spots you put your foot down and it sinks down to your knee. So it makes the footing a little precarious as well.
Is it really, really hot?
The ash, actually, it's not, because the ash serves as a bit of a buffer. It doesn't conduct the heat as well. And so it does make it more not comfortable, but it's not burning to stand or step anywhere. Now there in the distance you see there are areas that are where the land is more rocky and cracked, where there doesn't seem to be a layer of ash on top. And you can see just from looking the waves of light refracting from the heat playing off of the ground. And yeah, everybody, you are all sweating profusely. The heat is rather intense, and so.
How long have we been outside for?
It's been about a half hour.
Okay.
So, as you get yourselves all settled after riding on Vegnog, and once Vegnog transforms back into his normal state, Solomon checks the gem, and once again he kind of turns, and then turns this way, and then turns this way, and then he turns this way, and then he just points that way.
In that direction, just make sure there's anything stand out.
There's nothing that stands out at this distance, but you do notice that the light here is not it's not like being out in strong daylight. It's a weird effect where the immediate area around you seems to be a bit brighter, I guess. And as the distance increases, the haziness increases, and there are atmospheric things that kind of impair your vision. Sometimes it's the intensity of the heat that kind of creates mirages and illusions. Other times it's because in other directions that you look, it's because the smoke and ash increase to a point that it's just too thick to see through. So it impairs your vision to an extent, but as far as you can see, there's no major features that you can ascertain just yet.
Vegnog, that was incredible. Please don't let us have to do it again anytime soon.
Maybe not here.
I would not. You never know. It is lucky I had 5 handles.
It really is.
Is everyone okay?
Emotionally, no, but I think I'll make it.
Do you require a hug? I hear this is customary. And he holds out his arms.
Sure, I will hug Vegnog. How much HP do we get back?
Yeah, so you guys are relatively safe where you're at, but it is getting close to the end of the day. It's probably at this point around, well, not close to the end of the day, but I mean, it is getting later, about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you have noticed that, there's no real nighttime here in this place. As I mentioned before, there are several setting or rising suns in the distance. They never seem to move from their spots. They're always perpetually in this kind of transitionary state between sun up and sundown. But there's several of these suns surrounding the area. And so the light really doesn't change much except from those things that create atmospheric effects. So storm clouds, ash clouds, sometimes there may be other things that might create areas of darkness or increase shade, but for the most part, there's not really a day-night cycle.
Let's go in this direction. Let's head that way. If we need rest, we can see if we can find a cave or something.
Good idea.
Something to give us cover. Let's get moving.
Let's go. And Mike, I just want to double check with you. It's every hour I have to do the con check, correct? The con save?
Yeah, so let's bring that up.
We've been very bad about these, I know that much. I don't need Dustin sitting there the entire time looking at me and sending me private messages constantly. You're cheating. I know you're cheating. You're supposed to be rolling these saves, you fucking cheater.
Hey, those are private.
They're not- well, the pictures I'm keeping private is the words I'm telling me with that other man.
Oh, it's the end, does it? So I think I. Yeah, so first of all, let's just consider going to the end of the day. So because you guys aren't going to encounter anything until quote unquote nighttime. So everybody needs at least 2 gallons of water a day. So do you guys have access to that much water?
I have 5 water skins, and each one holds 2 liters, so each one is half of a day's worth normally, so it would be 4 water skins per day.
I thought that a water skin holds a gallon of water.
2 liters according to the PHB.
Well, one water skin is usually enough for one day, right?
Yeah, but they in the book they actually write that they expect you to pick up more water from there. It's 2 liters according to the book.
Okay, so they're assuming that you're finding more water along the day.
Yeah, river sources and stuff like that.
Okay, so the normal drinking requirements are doubled from what they would usually be. So does everybody have enough water?
I have 4 water skins in my inventory.
Okay. And I think you guys got enough water from the Winchester. Vegnog, you don't need to worry about it all that much because you don't need water.
Yeah.
So that's the water. And then in terms of the heat, it is I want to say it's a DC 10.
I think
Yeah,
balmy 130.
a DC 10 Constitution saving throw at the start of every hour. Anything that is resistant to fire has advantage on the save. Immune, you automatically succeed, and you have disadvantage if you are wearing medium or heavy armor.
Okay.
So to the end of the day, at least, we're gonna say that's like 4 hours. So everybody give me 4 checks.
And on number 3.
The fuck?
So it's
See this
4
bullshit?
con saves.
Yeah, DC 10.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we
Yes.
can.
Oh boy, can you hear yourselves?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck. All right, give me 5.
Uh-oh.
You mean hear us through him? I didn't hear you guys.
I didn't hear.
I am him.
It's a good thing I got a good fucking constitution.
So Vegnog, it looks like you take 1 level of exhaustion from the heat. Alyssa, you took 1. It looks
I
like
rolled a 10.
because you have advantage because you're supposed to be resistant to fire as well.
But I'm also in full chainmail, which gives me disadvantage, so it cancels itself out.
Right. So then you got the 10,
Yeah,
not the 7.
Yeah.
So you don't have any exhaustion, any added exhaustion.
Yep.
Okay.
Got an action point, Vegnog?
Oh yeah, that's right. I do have an action point. I should use that. That's right. We get 2.
Yes.
Oh, that's not going to be any good.
Can I use one of my action points so he can reroll?
All right. Well,
I'll keep the old one.
yeah. I would hope so. Okay. So it gets to be about the time that you guys would be kind of winding down, but once again, it seems more noticeable here because you're constantly outside. You're not going inside anywhere. Before, when you were in Flame Keep, you were in High Hall a lot. You were in the graveyard, which was perpetually dark, or you were in the Dock House or the Winchester. So now it's really kind of setting in that there really isn't this differentiation between night and day. So how are you guys kind of dealing with that?
Not well.
I mean, were we able to, I don't know. This place is totally foreign, has been foreign the entire fucking time. And the fact that there's no day-night cycle, whatever, it's one more fucking thing.
Drugs are a hell of a thing.
Peter is a hell of a drug.
Vegnog finds it strange, but he's like, whatever. He'll power down all the same.
You guys see me now?
Yes. Barely.
Is it
You
really
sound
bad
weird.
quality?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I mean, the sound is not the video.
Oh yeah. God.
Are you on your flip phone?
Yeah. So I've got. I think the microphone's coming through one of these. Coming through this. It's just my wireless headset uses the same charger as my phone. So.
Yeah.
I'm sort of
What's your address there? I'll Amazon you another charger.
Yeah, I know, right? So popo. I'll try. I don't know.
Well, you look great. You just sound bad.
It's not. It's fine.
Oh, I was wrong. I was looking in the wrong place. So the DC is actually 5, and it increases each hour later. So Vegnog, the DC would have only been 8 for you. So you passed. So you don't need to have spent that action point.
Nice. And I'm not exhausted.
Have we succeeded in finding anything that looks like shelter out here?
Go ahead and give me a survival check. Everybody can give me one.
Right. We're so good
It
at
is
this.
barren waste.
What about Solomon?
Solomon he's staring at the crystal. He's
Yeah.
completely lost in thought.
He's like, what? Mother, what do you need?
I've got an action point. I'm going to use it to reroll.
Okay.
Would you like to use another one?
I will say that we're getting close to the end of the session today, so if you want to use them, use them.
I'm
Might as
gonna
well.
use my second.
Here, I still have 2. Let me use it. All right,
Sorry,
all right,
too
we're
late.
good. We're good.
All right, so Vegnog, what is it that you would be looking for or paying attention to when you're considering shelter or trying to set up a camp?
But it's the Holiday Inn.
Ideally, it'd be like a nice, snuggly cave. More realistically, I would consider shelter anything that has like an overhanging ledge
Mhm.
and some way, like, either like a ledge that comes over a little bit and maybe some way to obscure, like kind of obscure us a little bit, like not full cover, but at least hidden from the path,
Well, there is no path.
or hidden from, like hidden from, I guess. Yeah, I was looking at the map still.
Mhm.
But yeah, just hidden from like any place where I could find that would be like had an overhanging ledge that we could probably like tuck ourselves into.
Okay. So you do find a cave, or it seems like a cave. It's kind of almost like, okay, so think of a crater, right? And you just kind of tilt the shape of the crater a little bit. It's like the hole is not in the cave. It's not like a mountain or anything that it has like a hole directly in it. It's more a hole going into the ground, but it is somewhat of a lipped, raised kind of hole. It is dark in there. You can feel heat rising out from it, but it seems like it could offer some shelter. But just from looking outside in, you don't see how far it goes.
Not a problem. Solomon will probably run right down there.
It is potential. Anyone can see.
Give me a moment, and I'll cast light real fast on my shield, and I'll start walking down a bit.
How about you just put it like on a rock or something? We throw it down there. We'll try that first. Yeah.
Are there any rocks here, or is it all just ash?
You could probably find a rock. In fact, when you kind of look for a rock, you see one that looks to be like shiny quartz or obsidian.
I thought you were gonna say it looks like a human skull.
Oh yeah.
How much obsidian do we find? Do we have enough to make another portal and get out of here?
Wrong game.
Oh shit!
Enough to kill all the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I will light the.
That's dragon glass. It's different.
No, it's not.
Listen, we can't copyright obsidian, so it's dragon glass, okay? I will send the lit obsidian down in there, aiming for the first White Walker I see.
So yeah, you cast light and toss it down, it does reveal that it goes straight down much further into the ground. Actually, you notice as the rock kind of bounces, there seems to be another hole that just kind of falls down and the light goes away.
I'm gonna take a look at the walls of this formation.
Mm-hmm.
Do they look natural?
Give me a nature check.
I can certainly try.
Okay, that's good enough. So what you're familiar with in terms of caves and what you would consider natural, no, it doesn't appear like that. The walls are a little too smooth and there are regular intervals of like ridges. So it seems like this was either carved out or created. Now, that's not to say that they're unnatural, because it may be some natural phenomenon that occurs here in Fernia that doesn't occur in Eberron. But as far as you're aware, it doesn't seem natural.
I mean, I can kind of gauge by looking at the surrounding area if the general terrain seems to follow normal rocky formations or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If the inside here is looking like this, I'm gonna hazard a guess that this was not naturally forming, guys. Whatever this cave is, at least I'm pretty sure it's not.
Then we should not linger.
Yeah.
Do you guys look deeper into the cave or where the light disappeared?
So did it disappear, or did it fall down that hole that you mentioned?
Yeah, it fell down and you didn't hear it like knock into anything. You didn't hear it like hit ground, and the light completely vanished.
And there's no redness or anything coming up from that hole, correct? It's completely dark.
Yes. So after it fell down, you heard it kind of bounce on the wall a couple of times, but you never heard a final landing, and the light quickly vanished completely.
Would we like to take a look, or would we prefer to find somewhere else?
No.
I do have 50 foot of rope, and I believe another has 50 foot as well. We can use that.
I mean, I don't know.
If we don't
Instincts
think
tell
this
me
is
to-
a naturally forming cave, then we should best be on our way, rather than go down this and find us at the end of some mouth of some foul creature.
Yeah, I don't think we should even touch this, whatever the hell this is.
All right then, Solomon, the crystal still pointing in that direction?
That way.
I thought so. Let us go then.
All Solomon has said this whole time. That way. Mother, that way.
Mother, that way.
Terrible version of the Danzig song.
Especially the original.
So you guys are going to leave the cave?
Yep, no one wants magic items.
Yeah.
Okay, which one of you would like to be our navigator for this trip?
Who found this one? Let's just find a different thing.
It was Vegnog, I believe. Okay, let me give you a bit of guidance then. And I'll pat you on the shoulder and cast guidance on
might-
Vegnog.
I might be able to assist. I'm sorry about the bad quality. Might be able to assist with the hole.
I think you might need some more water. Your throat sounds terrible.
Yeah, sorry.
You sound really far away. What happened there?
He fell down the hole.
Ah!
I slipped.
I go running in the hole to save Project Ezra. Quickly.
So I have protection from evil and good. Can I like maybe boost that with an action point? Maybe it can tell me more about like whether it's been here for a while or I don't know what it could be. I don't know.
Well, protection from evil and good is an abjuration spell. It protects you from things. It doesn't provide you information generally.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I don't really know. Then I'm sort of just winging it.
I mean, if you had something like detect magic or detect evil and good or something like that, that might be a more reasonable.
Yeah,
Detect evil good.
nah. Yeah, nah.
It's
I
not
don't know.
evil, it's misunderstood.
Well, then I have nothing then.
You can help Vegnog. Assist him as best you can.
You guys have eyes. I can also keep looking, but we are no longer flying, so we can all search.
Exactly.
But, you know, unless somebody else has a, you know, another idea to deal with this cave, I think we should find another one.
Everybody give me a perception check.
Well, Vegnog has a D4 extra from guidance on it.
Oh man.
6.
All right.
10.
So Ewan and Alyssa,
I got a 6 at disadvantage.
right. So Ewan,
Yep.
you hear
From where?
coming from behind you, and
From
as you turn
cave?
around, no, because I thought you guys had left the cave.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So no, it's coming from behind you, and as you turn around just in time to see. Where is it?
Is it Wasp Girl?
I just hope it's not a bunch of Sturges.
Oh no.
Way deadlier than their CR indicates.
Quicklings. Those things are so annoying. Oh, 2 people died last night to quicklings. It was terrible. It was nasty.
All right, so you see that.
How big?
I mean, Hell Wasp, isn't that kind of redundant?
But the thing is, no, it's massive, and unfortunately, you see it just as it lifts Solomon out of off of the ground into the air, and you see him begin to squirm, and he shouts, "Mother!" and it carries him off into the distance.
Oh, your wasp not to carry
Into
me
the cave?
away.
No, not into the cave.
Oh, thank God.
For such a massive thing, it sure came up on us real fucking quick. Wings like that, I figured that we would hear that shit from miles away.
Well, damn. Oh, Solomon's gone. I guess we can. Oh, damn, he had the pistol, didn't he? Shit.
He did.
Follow the wasp.
I could have just like crawled out, not used its wings until it like got out.
Yeah, like how, like just shortly after us leaving the cave this happened, or?
No, it didn't come from within the cave.
No, don't tell
Um,
us that. We don't need metagaming here.
As you guys are seeing it carry off Solomon into the distance, you can see what seems to be a massive structure that you hadn't really noticed before because it seems to be just beyond the clear line of sight. There's kind of a fogginess that is obscuring it a bit. So you didn't notice it right off before. But the wasp is carrying Solomon, who you can see continues to struggle, but can't really do much to break the grip, and it carries him into this structure.
We have to go in there.
We have no choice. He had this crystal.
Okay, let's go.
And we'll stop there for the night.
Give him chase.
Yeah, what about the chase rules, huh?
Uh,
I think the wasp is faster.
do you guys really want to do chase?
With all my ranged abilities, absolutely.
I've got one fly spell ready to go.
He's been holding that Eldritch Blast the entire game, and you deny him it.
Yeah. I mean that's fair. Like turning around and seeing it take off with him, I could throw my boomerang at this fucker.
Do you want to give it a try?
Yeah.
Okay.
How fast? Like how far away is it as well?
I
I can mess it up.
So I'm gonna allow Ewan to do it because he actually was able to see the wasp.
I made my perception check.
But with it's got a pretty fast fly speed, so it would, even within a round, it would pretty quickly get outside of the range. So I would say what is your name again? Project Ezreal. With what you were wanting to do, were you going? What was the range? Would it be greater than 150 feet?
Yeah, it was only 30 feet. I was gonna use telekinesis to like make it prone because it's flying. It would just hit the deck, and then we could run over and just whack it. But that's not happening.
No, this is a pacifist run campaign. We're trying not to kill anything in it.
Yes, and you guys are doing so well.
We are. We haven't killed anything today.
I also do have that action point. Can I extend the range by like stupid amount?
I got action points.
Doesn't matter. Still good. I think this is a plot point anyway, so.
A 16 misses.
All right, second. All right, whatever. Cool, I miss.
And
I get a second attack.
Yeah, you can do another one.
Hey, here we go.
All right, so that one hits.
I was just assuming I wouldn't have a bonus action to activate the thunder damage, so just quick reaction to throw the fucking thing a couple times.
That's fair. Yeah, so you do give it a good thwack, and it kind of knocks it off its balance. And I will say, because of that, and because you're being honest about the not having time to activate the thunder damage, Brendan, if you want to use an action point for your telekinesis, I would give you an opportunity. So first describe how you're forming your telekinetic energy and kind of what is the shape of it.
So it's more, it's not like an external thing, it's more like an internal thing of the wasp. So it sort of like pulls, like what I imagine is that it like grabs the blood of the mosquito and sort of just, oh, the wasp, and like drags it to the bottom. So it like loses all function in its wings and it just starts to just fall flat.
All right. What does your telekinesis usually do?
So I can, so like mechanically,
Mhm.
you got to do a DC 14 strength save. I can push it or make it prone, and if I make it prone when it's in the sky, I'm pretty sure it just falls.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh, you guys can't see. I had it whispered. He rolled the wasp rolled a 17.
All right.
So what happens is so Ewan, you strike it and it hits it pretty good. It causes it to kind of stumble in the air. It kind of flies cockeyed a bit. And then Project Ezreal, you use that opportunity to try and use your telekinetic pull to bring it down to the ground. Unfortunately, you're not able to quite capture it, but you do manage to rip its stinger out of its abdomen, which then causes it a great deal of pain. It continues to fly towards the structure that it seems to be heading, but it is leaving a regular trail of blood that will make it easier to follow. And it does seem like whatever you did to it harmed it and may even eventually kill it. But for now, it seems to be functioning still.
That's pretty cool.
Didn't actually deal damage. You just went ahead and insulted it so badly emotionally that it's going to go back to its nest and commit suicide. It's very depressing what you've done. You feel bad.
All right. So that's where we'll end for tonight. What do people think?
Ready for another chase scene.
I think I'd like the chase a lot better if there was actually something that half the party could do.
Yeah.
Because we were kind of just hanging off the Vegnog.
Yeah, I mean, especially for characters that are focused on melee, it's in general just more difficult for you guys to do anything in a chase.
Well, it's our fault. We did focus on melee. I mean, let's be honest here.
We just need to, so while Vegnog's in his transformed state, we need to also figure out how to mount some turrets to him.
Yeah, a couple of 50s or something on the side.
Clearly, I mean, turn Vegnog into the war machine he's always wanted to be.
Yeah.
Vegnog the Destroyer
The
gunship.
real
now.
destroyer.
Now he can identify as an attack helicopter.
This was the only
I mean-
opportunity. Sorry. This is the only opportunity I ever saw Stealth Sniper being a viable option as well.
Where what?
Spell Sniper, like the feat.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, it's good. You just gotta get Spell Sniper and then the invocation that lets you double the range of your lance, and you've got what,
Yeah,
a
that.
600-foot range.
yeah. Eldritch Spear plus Spell Sniper equals the perfect chase blaster.
Or go with an archer and just take the sharpshooter feat. 600 feet.
Yeah, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me for the chase. I know it went a bit slow, but I do think it gave me some good information in terms of refining it. And certainly if you guys have any ideas about how things might be able to be adjusted, feel free to send me an email or a note or something with those suggestions.
Of course.
What about other than the chase, everybody have a fun time? Everybody felt like it was a good session?
Yeah.
Glad we avoided the purple worm, the infernal purple worm.
Yeah.
No one bothers looking for the teeth. We just look at the walls of it.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's awfully deep for an asteroid hit.
Brennan, it was your first day back in a while. Did it feel good to get back into Project Ezreal?
It's good because there wasn't too much to do, which I liked. Like I forgot how to play him and what he was about, and looking at his spell sheet and all this stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, this is his deal, and it's gonna take me a little while to get back into it, but should be all right.
Nice.
Also, so you made that like chase mechanic thing? That was yours?
Yeah, I made it from scratch.
Holy crap!
So you guys should be able to see all the rules in the journal. So if you guys want to kind of review them more closely, and if you wanted to provide suggestions, I'd love to hear them so that we can refine it, make it something that's more fun. Because I always thought that was one of the things about D&D, like the chase is never really well done. It's either completely DM ad hoc adjudication, or it's just a bunch of skill checks, which may or may not be relevant or forced. And then also, if you're doing it based on like combat initiative, it's just whoever can dash or whoever happens to have the best speed. So I thought I've been trying to think about how to make it a fun system that also makes sense and has some kind of solid rules that are at least as robust and structured as combat rules.
Yeah, it can be tricky sometimes, especially with like a monk.
Yeah.
Because I remember trying to do a chase, but like only one person was being chased and they were a decently leveled monk. So we're like, okay, well then you're not going to get caught ever.
Right. So I wanted
these are just city guards we're talking about.
A character who can get mauled into stone and they just right through the buildings and stuff.
Right. Yeah. They were like, all right, I'm gonna go around the corner and then up the wall. Okay, cool.
Tabaxi monk. That's what you need, a tabaxi monk to deal with for chase.
Yeah, so I wanna make sure that the monk is still able to feel cool because they have all that speed, but it's also not an automatic I win.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, like I did, I'm like, all right, well, I got a couple things I could try and do to slow her down. So I had like the whole like all right, so as you're running, coming out of this building or whatever, are a couple of guys holding the glass pane, you know. You know.
Why would you do this?
Shit like that.
Yeah. So yeah, cool. Any feedback would be helpful and appreciated. So then we will pick up in 2 weeks.
Yeah. See you then. Or see you soon.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Tired.
Bye.